I remember the exact moment she walked through the front door. It was just after 6 a.m. The sky still held that soft light before sunrise, and the birds had just begun to sing. I had been sitting in the kitchen since 4 o'clock, watching the clock, sipping cold coffee, and listening closely for the sound of her key turning in the lock. And when she finally walked in, she was smiling. Not a tired smile. Not one filled with guilt. No, this was something different. It was the smirk of someone who believed they had gotten away with something. She looked full of life. Her makeup was slightly smeared, high heels in one hand, and her hair was a bit messy, like she had been dancing or... Well, I already knew. "Hey, babe," she said casually, as if everything was normal. "Didn't want to wake you. Girls' night went late. You know how it is." I didn't respond. She didn't notice at first. She was too busy tossing her shoes near the stairs and heading to the fridge like it was just another quiet Sunday morning. Then she turned and finally saw me sitting there at the kitchen table. Her smile faded slightly. "You're up early," she said, trying to sound relaxed. I nodded slowly. I could feel the weight of the envelope lying on the table in front of me. "I couldn't sleep," I said. "Too much on my mind." She glanced at the envelope but didn't ask about it. She opened the fridge, took out some orange juice, poured a glass, and leaned against the counter. She wouldn't look me in the eyes now. Something changed in her. Just a slight tension in her shoulders, a small pause in her breathing. That's when I stood up calmly and pushed the envelope across the table toward her. She stared at it. "What's this?" she asked, her voice growing tight. "Open it." She didn't move at first. Then, slowly and unwillingly, she picked it up, tore it open, and pulled out the photos. The smile vanished. Her lips parted slightly. Her hand froze in midair. They were clear pictures, taken from a friend's phone. Someone who just happened to be at the same bar that night. I didn't even ask him. He simply sent them with the message, "You need to see this man." Her in a short dress. Her sitting at the bar. Her laughing in another man's arms. Then walking out with him. Then entering the hotel. I didn't need to see anything beyond that. She stared at the pictures in silence, not even trying to deny it. Her face turned pale. All the color disappeared. The fake confidence she walked in with was gone, replaced by something else. Shame, maybe fear. I wasn't sure. I didn't care anymore. "I can explain," she finally whispered, but the words felt empty. I just shook my head. "You already did," I said. "With every decision you made last night." She stepped toward me, reaching out as if that could somehow undo everything she had done. "It was a mistake. I was drunk. It didn't mean anything." "I was home," I replied quietly. "I was home the whole time. I made dinner. Lit some candles. I thought maybe we could fix things, talk and reconnect. I waited until midnight. Then I saw the photos. Tears began to fill her eyes. "I didn't mean to," she said. "But you did," I replied. "You meant to get dressed up. You meant to flirt. You chose to go with him. And when you walked through that door you meant to lie, smiling like you were proud of it. I picked up the second envelope. This one was heavier. I tossed it onto the table. "What's that?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Divorce papers," I said. "Already signed. Just need yours." She looked like she had been slapped. "I made copies of everything, the photos, the messages, your check-ins on social media. It's all in there. I didn't come to argue. I came to end this." Her hands shook as she reached for the envelope. She didn't open it. She just stared at it as if it might explode. Then she slowly sat down, tears streaming down her cheeks. She whispered something I'll never forget. "I thought you didn't care anymore. That was the dagger." "I cared," I said. "That's the worst part. I cared so deeply that I convinced myself you were just going through a rough patch. I thought maybe if I loved you harder you'd come back. But now I see, you had already left." Silence. The only sound was her quiet sobs as she cried into her hands. I picked up my keys, walked to the door, and looked back one last time. "You were right about one thing," I said. "This is the last time you'll ever see me cry over you." Then I walked out. I didn't slam the door. I didn't yell. I didn't create a scene. Because sometimes the loudest goodbye is the one left unexplained. And that smirk she wore when she walked in, it never returned.